Welcome! Have you ever looked at a chessboard and just felt kind of overwhelmed? Well, you're in exactly the right place. And here's my promise. In just the next few minutes, I'm going to give you everything you need to unlock this incredible game and play your very first match. So let's jump right in.
You know, for centuries, this game of strategy has captivated pretty much everyone, from actual kings and queens to kids playing in the park. They call it the royal game for a reason. It's got this incredible depth and history. But honestly, don't let any of that big reputation fool you.
I totally get it. You see all those different pieces and you think, wow, this looks complicated. But here's the big secret. What if I told you that this entire game, every single move, every strategy, it all boils down to one simple mission?
So what is that mission? Well, it's not about capturing the most pieces. The whole point of the game, your one and only focus, should be on this one single thing: trapping the enemy king. That's it.
This mission has a name, and it's a powerful one: Checkmate. It actually comes from this old Persian phrase, Checkmate, which means the king is helpless. And that's exactly your goal: to put your opponent's king in a spot where he's being attacked and has absolutely nowhere to run. You pull that off, the game is yours.
And here it is, that final beautiful moment of victory. Just look at this. The white queen has the black king completely cornered. He can't move left, he can't move right, he can't move diagonally. Nothing can block the attack, and nothing can get rid of that queen. That is checkmate. Game over.
Now, to pull off this mission, you're not going in by yourself. Nope, you get to command a whole 16-piece army on this checkered battlefield. So let's meet your troops one by one.
Okay, so your battlefield is this 8x8 board. 64 squares, split between two sides, white and black. And here's maybe the most important rule to remember before you even start. White always moves first.
All right, this is where the real fun starts. See, each piece in your army has its own unique personality, its own special way of moving. Once you get these down, you've got the foundation for everything else. You'll officially know how to play chess.
Let's begin with your front line, these 8 little guys called pawns. Think of them as the brave but kind of simple foot soldiers of your army. They might not look like much, but they have some really cool tricks up their sleeve.
So, pawns march straight forward, just one square at a time. But on their very first move, they get this little burst of energy. They can jump 2 squares forward if you want. But here's their weird little quirk. They don't attack the same way they move. Pawns capture the enemy 1 square diagonally. Next up, we've got the rooks hanging out in the corners. I want you to picture these guys as powerful, solid castle towers. They are the masters of the straight lines.
The rook's move is just pure, simple power. It can blast any number of squares horizontally or vertically as long as its path is clear. And if an enemy piece is sitting in its way, bam, it can capture it and take its spot.
Now for what might be my favorite piece on the whole board, the knight. This piece is the trickster of the army, and its move is totally unique. It moves in an L shape.
So the knight goes 2 squares in one direction, up, down, left, or right, and then takes a sharp 1 square turn. 2 and 1, an L shape. But here's its superpower. It is the only piece in the entire game that can literally jump over other pieces, friend or foe.
All right, let's meet the bishops. These are your long-range specialists. I like to think of them as the snipers of your army, controlling all of those long, open diagonals on the board.
A bishop can glide any number of empty squares, but here's the catch: only on the diagonals. And this creates a really cool dynamic. A bishop that starts on a light square will be on a light square for the entire game. Same for the dark square bishop. They're like a team, each one controlling half the colors on the board.
Okay, it's time. Let's talk about the most powerful piece on the board, and it's not even a competition. She is the undisputed superhero of your army, the amazing, all-powerful queen.
So what makes her so powerful? It's easy. She basically has the powers of the rook and the bishop combined. That means she can move any number of squares in any direction, straight lines and diagonals. This makes her an absolute terror, a threat from literally anywhere on the board.
And that brings us to the final piece. Now, he's not the most powerful, but he is, without a doubt, the most important. This is the one you have to protect at all costs, because if he gets trapped, you lose the game. This is your king.
The king is the entire reason you're playing the game. And even though he's priceless, he's also, well, he's a bit of a slowpoke. His movement is super limited. He can only move one single square at a time in any direction.
Okay, so you now know how every single piece moves. But wait, there is one last special move we've got to cover. It's this really clever defensive trick, and it's all about keeping your king safe and sound.
This move is called castling, and it's the only time in the whole game you can move two pieces at once. Here's how it works. Your king scoots over 2 squares towards one of your rooks, and then that rook just hops right over him to the other side. Just like that, you've moved your king out of the dangerous center and tucked him safely away behind a wall of pawns. It's a fantastic move.
All right, let's bring this all home. To actually win the game, you have to understand the huge difference between just putting the king under threat and ending the game for good.
So here it is, the final piece of the puzzle. Check is basically just a warning. It's like shouting, "Hey, watch out, your king is in danger," and you have to use your next move to get him out of danger. But checkmate, well, that's the final blow. That's when the king is in check, and there is absolutely nothing that can be done to save him. That's the end of the line. That's victory.
And that's it. Seriously. You now know the goal, you know how all the pieces move, you know the essential rules of chess. The learning part? It's over. Now the real fun begins. Your board is set, your army is ready, and your first move is just waiting for you. The only question left is, who are you going to challenge to your first game?